ClassicFordVideos.com presents the Ford Racing Bundle, a 6-video bundle, 6 hours of Ford racing from the glory days of the 1960s, the Indianapolis and Daytona 500s, Le Mans, Riverside, the Ford Lotus, the Ford Cosworth, Falcons, Comets, Mustang Cobras, Stocks, Sprints, Drags, and NASCAR, and the men who raced for Ford, Foyt, Gurney, Clark, Andretti, plus racing legend Carroll Shelby, all from the Ford Film Archives, just for you, the Ford racing fan. Watch it today with money-saving digital downloads. Here's what you get. Ford Racing number 1, 1963-64.
And they're off. Parnelli Jones grabs the lead with Jim Hurtubise right at his tail. It's Jones, Hurtubise, Bobby Marshman, and Roger Ward on the backstretch. Here he comes, the winner, heading for victory lane. The man himself, Parnelli Jones. Average speed, 143.137 miles per hour. It's a new record for the Indianapolis 500.
The Daytona 500 held at the International Speedway. And the Firecracker 400 also run at the Daytona Speedway. This is the fastest stock car track in the world.
The dragsters go even faster. With direct drive, there's usually no gear shifting. Here's a driver's eye view of the quarter-mile drag strip, covered in about 8 to 9 seconds. These AA fuel dragsters are producing on the order of 1,400 horsepower.
Ford Racing number 2, 1965-66.
Remember, we run as long as 24 hours and cover up to 3,000 miles flat out. Cars and drivers take incredible punishment. By the middle of the afternoon, the pace is just too hot for some and the field begins to thin out. And now the durability of our engines and components pay off. And we're running 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes a downpour you wouldn't believe. And the cars are all over the track. They look more like motorboats than race cars.
For Stock Car Auto Racing sanctions about 60 Grand National races for late model stock cars between January and November. Racing is a tough business. It demands tremendous concentration, physical stamina, top equipment, and know-how. Most drivers get to the top, if they do, the hard way, through a series of wrecks and heartbreaks, until they get to the point where they can handle a stock car.
Ford Racing number 3, 1968-69.
64 cars in 4 categories come from all over the world for the 24 hours of Daytona.
You drive 2,400 miles at an average speed of 100 miles an hour. You hit the brakes 3,000 times, shift gears 7,500 times, and maintain an average engine speed of 6,000 revolutions per minute. The race starts at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon and finishes at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
We're pulling close to 2 G's in the turns, so this makes your arms feel like they weigh about 100 pounds each, and your head feels like it weighs about 200 pounds.
The turns at Daytona have a 31% bank. They are door-to-door at 200 miles an hour. Cale Yarborough wins stock car racing's richest prize. After 3 hours, 23 minutes and 44 seconds, his margin of victory is 1 second. Petty has left a wheel and tire embedded in the wall of turn 2. As the Petty crew works frantically to straighten the twisted sheet metal, David Pearson moves into the lead. Yarborough is leading. James Hilton, flat spot.
1967 Ford Team Lotus.
Jim Clark whips the new Lotus Ford around Zandvoort in the 67 Dutch Grand Prix, breaking all lap records and giving first victory for the new car. Spa-Francorchamps is a pictorial rural circuit in the Belgian Ardennes. It's also the fastest road circuit in Europe. Brabham leads Surtees. Wrong. Surtees takes Brabham. Photo finish. Surtees by 1 frame in our camera. That's a 48th of a second. Clark now way out in front and going in great style. Mexican TV screens show him thundering through on his last lap to the checkered flag. For Jim Clark, these 9 days in summer started with an untried car and ended as they began, with a victor's laurels.
Ford wins the 1966-67 Le Mans.
Ferrari of Italy has won the race 7 times out of the last 8. No American car has ever won. Millions have been spent. Henry Ford, his wife and young son Edsel have arrived to see the investment pay off. 18 hours have passed, and the 55 cars that started have been reduced to 19. 3 Fords means 6 Porsches, 3 Ferraris, 5 Alpines, 1 Austin Healey, and 1 BRM Matra.
There is less than 2 hours left to finish, and the Ford cars are running 1, 2, and 3. It is decided by the Ford race managers that all 3 cars will sweep across the line together in a dramatic show of teamwork.
Fast Fords of the 60s.
Auto racing has everything a sport should have, and more. The play plus the product.
This is the famous Daytona Speedway, only 2 weeks before the 1963 500. And out here at the track, there's only us members of the fraternity, the guys who drive and nurse these Detroit hunks of iron. Here's Tiny Lund getting set for a practice run. The guy who saved Marvin Panch's life by lifting a burning car off him.
This car cost you $150 to get it fixed. I said, man, I didn't pay but $125 for it. So I took it back home, I took it apart, and I fixed it.
Save money and go green when you get your classic Ford videos immediately upon purchase with your digital downloads at ClassicFordVideos.com. Start shopping now.